Hello everyone, my name is Gabby, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super review. This time reviewing episode 44. Monica comes to Earth to deliver some sweets for Bulma. Meanwhile, Goten and Trunks go through his van and accidentally end up getting locked in. When Monica comes back, he drives off to his next destination without thinking, with Goten and Trunks still stuck in the back. They arrive at planet Potofu, where a friend of Monica is being assaulted by some alien thugs, who are attempting to steal the seal of the superhuman water, a substance that supposedly multiplies your power hundreds of times. Goten and Trunks come to his aid, but during the scuffle, the seal he was protecting is misplaced and then found by the thugs. They open up the seal to the water and then get swallowed by it. The water attacks Goten and Trunks, but they're saved by Vegeta and Jaco, sent there by Bulma to bring them back. Vegeta seems to have no problem taking the creatures on, until the liquid swallows him and suddenly turns into a mirror version of himself. So, what did I like about this episode? Well, first of all, it was essentially a Goten and Trunks episode. It wasn't really until this episode came out when I realized how much I kind of missed them. I go and pay out all the time that Gohan doesn't get enough screen time, or other characters don't get enough screen time, but yeah, Goten and Trunks have barely done anything of note the entire series. And that's kind of surprising considering how much of a focus they got in the Buu saga, but now they've been barely worth a mention. But here, they actually have an episode. And not only were they in this episode, but they were also actually kind of written surprisingly well. I've got to admit, if this is the same stuff with Toei from 30 years ago, or 20 years ago when Dragon Ball Z ended, I'm kind of surprised because they write Goten and Trunks way better than they used to. No longer are Goten and Trunks just those annoying rascal kids who just go around, get into all these stupid situations, and act really selfish and think just because they're Super Saiyans that basically the world owes them everything. No, in this episode, they were both surprisingly mature. Especially Trunks. When they get stuck in Monica's van, instead of just being they could have totally just blasted their way out there, but then Trunks was actually no, let's not do that because that's going to wreck Monica's van. That's a bad idea. Let's actually wait for him to come back and tell him whether we're in there. That was kind of surprising. You don't really see Dragon Ball characters be let's stop and think about the collateral damage. So it's kind of surprising. And the fact that Trunks got he seems so much more mature now than he did in the Buu saga especially. It almost makes me wonder if this is supposed to be some kind of, foreshadowing? Maybe Goten and Trunks, but especially Trunks, are going to get some kind of character development in the next arc. We do know what's going to happen in the next arc, and we did see Trunks eye a sword really kind of enthusiastically, so maybe this is some kind of foreshadowing for something that's going to happen in the next arc. And I've got to say, if Kid Trunks gets character development next arc, I would be very, very excited, because he is a character, Goten as well. They're both characters who have been severely underutilized in this series. And then there's the fact that, a bit like last episode, and a bit like a lot of the other slice of life episodes in Super, the sort of humor and the situations in these episodes are a lot more realistic, you could say. It's not just this ridiculous, crazy, huge adventure. Goten and Trunks are oh yeah, let's go to space or something, and then everyone's rushing around to find them. It's just this one mishap. Goten and Trunks are just on this. They just get stowed away into space kind of accidentally, and then when they arrive there, it's okay, this is a problem. We should we'll go and help these guys, but after that we'll come back. And then Bulma is freaking out a bit, but she's okay, Vegeta, Jaco, go and get the kids back. It's not oh my god, the fate of the world is resting on this. It's just hey, go and get the kids back. They're in space. Just come on, you can do that for me. I feel you could have made this episode a lot more sort of bigger and a lot more sort of gag focused, but once again they toned everything down a little and took a lot more of a subtle approach, and I'm really enjoying that. As for what I didn't like about this episode, it was basically just that random scene with Goku training where we find out that his delayed onset ki syndrome, I think that's what it's called, that he got last episode is basically, it's gone, he's alright, he's recovered already. There's nothing wrong with this, this is consistent because they said it was only going to be around for a few days, that he was going to recover on his own. My problem is I feel this was a bit of a missed opportunity because, I really liked the idea that not only that Goku was shouldn't push himself too hard because then he could do irreversible damage, but also I liked this idea that for the next few episodes maybe that Goku would be weak and maybe he wouldn't be able to do anything. Because, I mean, you made this excuse here, this excuse that Goku is depowered for this episode, and everyone believed it, and everyone thought it was a good idea. So I thought they would try and keep this on for a bit longer, especially because, spoilers, there's some stuff going on in the next episode, next few episodes, and it seems like Goku is still going to be a very important part of it. Like, there's nothing wrong with Goku being a part of it, it's just that this was a Goten and Trunks episode, and this arc seems to have a lot of Goten and Trunks in it. I feel like if you try to introduce Goku into it, it's just going to make it feel like a bit of a missed opportunity for Goten and Trunks to do something. But I might just be getting ahead of myself. I think really the bulk of my judgment on this will probably have to come next week. Also, a bit of a kind of aesthetic complaint. I don't really like the design for Copy Vegeta, or whatever it is, the Vegeta being swallowed up by the liquid that has Vegeta's powers now. I just feel like it's a bit overdone. Like, the red eyes, are the red eyes really necessary? It's just like, come on, purple, red eyes. Like, come on, guys, couldn't you have been a little bit more creative with this copy Vegeta thing? You just had to just place in all of the just, hey, look, he's Vegeta, but he looks evil, just tropes, just all into like one bit of a mess of a character design. Sorry, that's a bit of a nitpick, sorry. Also, I kind of wish that they'd elaborated a bit more on kind of like the backstory of this planet and this guy and this water sacred thing. I know it's only really a few episodes long. They don't need to spend like 2 episodes going on backstory, but I feel like it would have given us a bit more of an emotional connection. At this point, it all happens so fast that we don't even really get to think about it. It's just like, oh, there's a guy and now we're going to fight this water thing. Well, I don't actually know what it really is. And now it's taken Vegeta, so now we fight it. Honestly, I feel like this is the kind of episode, like, if you're going to make a kind of filler arc out of this, at least try to just elaborate on it a little bit more. Give us a bit more of an emotional connection. So as for next episode, turns out this copy Vegeta not only looks like Vegeta, but seems to have Vegeta's power. In fact, not only does he have Vegeta's power, but he's technically stolen Vegeta's power from him. So Vegeta has no power now, and it seems like there might be some other repercussions to this. So either way, there's some kind of fight going on, and we're also going to get Gotenks. I guess you're kind of expecting that if this is a Goten and Trunks fighting. You're going to see Gotenks. I just want to say, I just really hope Gotenks does something. I mean, I know if this is like Vegeta and he's full on like post-Universe 6 tournament power Vegeta, obviously Gotenks is not going to be able to do much against him, but come on, Super, please. Use the supporting cast a bit. You have them there. You made this scenario. I mean, at least try and do something with it. Just, please. Just from me to you. From everyone to you. Use your supporting cast. So that was Dragon Ball Super episode 44. I mean, it was an alright beginning to a filler arc. Whatever this arc is actually leading towards is probably going to be the next few episodes. This kind of just felt like the build-up. And honestly, the build-up wasn't particularly amazing, but considering this is like an arc that's only really about 3 episodes long, I guess there's only really so much you can do without having this seem a bit disingenuous. But either way, it was an alright episode, and I'm just wondering where this is actually going to lead to, if this is leading to anything really significant at all. So this is Gabby, signing out, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys!